Hey everyone, I'm Alan Thrall here with a diet and nutrition tip specifically for brand new parents or current parents who just added a newborn to the family. I've already listed a number of tips that helped me lose 50 pounds of body weight in a little over a year, but there's one more tip that I think is very important. This is sort of opposite of what I suggested for working out, which was don't be too married to a strict workout routine. Work out whenever you get the opportunity, be flexible. I do not suggest that approach for your diet. If you typically eat 3 meals per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, don't change that now that the baby is here. Now that you got a newborn in the house, you're gonna find yourself up at night during times when you usually sleep, and the urge to eat some snacks will be there. Don't give in to it. If you weren't snacking at 2 a.m. before your child arrived, don't start now. If you were snacking at 2 a.m. before your child arrived, you should probably stop. Now I should say first that if your diet needs a revamp, if it needs to be cleaned up, take care of that first. But if you feel like your diet before your child was here was helping you maintain your current body weight, or you were losing some weight, improving body composition, whatever the case, stick to your normal routine diet. Having young kids at home means you're probably going to lose some sleep, definitely going to lose some sleep, especially at first. Your sleep schedule, your work schedule, exercise schedule, life schedule changes quite a bit. And you might also be under a lot of stress. And when you're stressed out and thrown off schedule, you tend to just throw your hands up in the air and adopt this who cares attitude. I'll take care of things later. Your discipline thins and it's easy to spiral out of control. I meet a lot of dads who have the same story. They stopped working out when the kid arrived, they gained a lot of weight. 5 years later, I want to make some changes. Good on them for showing some initiative, but I promise, it is easier to not lose control in the first place than it is to try to make up for the past 5 years of bad choices. There will be plenty of times when you are tempted to eat. Food is comforting, especially highly processed, highly palatable foods with tons of calories. Food helps you wake up if you're trying to wake up with a newborn in the middle of the night. Have a snack while they're eating. Food might give you something to do because you're bored. Don't give in to this temptation. Don't eat unless it's lunchtime or dinner time or breakfast time. Scheduled times to eat. For a lot of people, meal timing is weaved into their routine, and once that routine gets pushed out of whack, so does their meal structure. You might wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, have lunch, finish work, gym, dinner. Structure is good for most people. Take a look at what the pandemic did to a lot of Americans. According to this study, and this is just one study, about 42% of Americans gained weight during the 2020 pandemic, with an average of 29 pounds gained. I can't point to exactly why this is, other than consuming too many calories, but I can speculate that being home all day and not having a routine played some part. I would see people on Instagram posting pictures of beer at 11 a.m., Uber Eats some chicken wings at 11 p.m. Routine is gone, structure is gone. Don't let this happen to you. Another example is how the weekends throw off people's routine and subsequently their diet. You're strict Monday through Thursday, but that cannot outrun Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Anyways, back to baby stuff. Personally, I'd be up at 2 a.m. when my daughter was born, and I noticed that I had huge cravings for things like a bowl of cereal, some ice cream, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a glass of milk. And I never had these strong cravings in the middle of the night before my daughter was here, because I was always asleep at 2 a.m. So I believe an eating routine is important for everyone, but even more important for new parents or anyone who is sleep deprived and stressed. This study shows that sleep-deprived people consume an average of 385 calories per day extra, and they had a proportionally higher fat and lower protein intake when compared to well-rested individuals. And I've seen studies that have shown more than 385 calories. This is just one that I found. There are also plenty of studies that link stress to overeating. Chronic life stress seems to be associated with a greater preference for energy and nutrient-dense foods, namely those that are high in sugar and fat. As a new parent, you're probably sleep deprived, overstressed, and something else that I realized, before my baby was here, I was averaging 20,000 steps per day. I was working all day, highly active, go, go, go. Once the baby was here, that kind of came to a halt. I was way less active because I was busy taking care of the baby, changing diapers, helping feed her, rocking her to sleep, hanging out with my son, spending all day at home, not going to work. Even now, 3.5 months later, I'm still less active than I was before she was here, but that's starting to change a little bit. So, as a new parent or someone who just added another child to your family, you're sleep deprived, you're probably stressed out at times, you don't want to cook food at home, you are less active than you were a month ago, your cravings are stronger than ever. This is truly an uphill battle. You've got to try your best to stick to a routine and make it black and white. No room for question. Don't let emotions rule your decisions. I eat this for breakfast, this for lunch, this for dinner. I do not eat unless I'm eating this stuff at this time. Now, the exact time on the clock might change from day to day, and that's fine as long as you're keeping some sort of structure to your diet. Now, the stuff you see me eating in this video is just from one day, but it's a pretty typical day. This is also about 3.5 months in with a newborn and a toddler. I was not spending this much time preparing food at first. I would eat things in the morning like hard-boiled eggs and instant oatmeal. I would do stuff like microwavable meals, stovetop pasta and potatoes, oven dinners, stuff that was easy to prepare but still pretty close to what I typically eat. And lunch is usually leftover dinner, which saves a lot of time. And if I can cook a large piece of meat for dinner, I'll usually do that because I can use the leftovers for lunch meat the next day or an oven-baked meal later on in the week. And another tip that has nothing to do really with anything in this video, less processed pieces of meat are almost always cheaper by the pound than more processed pieces of meat because it requires less labor. For example, a whole chicken is always less expensive per pound than boneless, skinless chicken breasts. But it does take a little bit longer to prepare, so the trade-off is up to you. Anyways, thanks for watching, and always remember, tread on time!